Einstein said, anyone who has never made a mistake has never tried anything new. Hello and welcome to my studio. My name is Ido Agassi and today I want to show you how to cover your mistakes. It happens, we all make mistakes and learn from them. I think the most unique creation and unconventional binding techniques I made were from trial and error and making mistakes. So today I'm going to show you 5 common mistakes in bookbinding and how to fix them, starting with corners. So the first mistake is cutting the corners too short. I'll mark a corner. I'm going to glue the corner and connect a piece of cloth. Trim it with the size. So let's say I'm cutting it too short around here. By the way, you need to cut it 1.5 times the thickness of board. That's the correct procedure. But now, as you can see, it's not covering the entire board. So what do? Don't be alarmed. You take the triangle that you cut and fold it in half. Now I want to mark the thickness of board, so you can just take your board, put it up until the line and just mark with a pencil. And now what I'm going to do is cut up until the fold and cut here with the fold. I'll bring my cover and now I'm going to paste everything. Bring it up until the edge. You can use your bone folder and take this piece inside here. And then just fold this piece over here. See, everything is okay here. And now I'll take a piece of waste paper, glue both sides. And fold it on it. One side and second side. And we covered our mistake, so no worries, this is a nice solution. The next tip, when I'm binding, I put weights as stoppers to allow me to bring my board into place. Sometimes it happens that you bring the board and you put it a bit crooked like this, and when you connect it, you see that as you go on with the binding, the mistake gets bigger. So what do? I'll bring a ruler and trim all around, and you keep the piece that you already cut. I'll cut the corners. I'm using my jig. If you want to learn how to make this jig, I have a video about how to make a jig for cutting corners. And now I'll do the side with the mistake. Glue up until where I can. Go inside the gaps. Insert the corners. And now what I'm going to do is see more or less where I want it to be. Let's do it here. I'll cut this piece over here. I'll bring a piece of waste paper. I'm going to glue. And I'm going to bring it exactly to the place I can feel that it is touching the other piece of cloth. I can trim the edge here. And when I'm folding the other side, we are covering our mistake. So now it's very difficult to see the mistake, and that's a very nice fix. Another thing that happens a lot, I always remind to change the waste paper, but sometimes people forget. They glue the edge, make the turn-ins, flip over the binding, connect everything, And when they lift it, they have, as you can see, a line of glue. This is a bummer, but I want to show you a nice fix for that occasion. I'm going to take a strip of paper. 2 centimeter would be enough because this is a small line of around 1 centimeter. I'm going to bring a weight up until where my marks are, and I'm going to glue all along the strip of paper. Lift it, and I'm going to bring the strip to my weight. Make sure it is touching. Take my bone folder and start from one side. I'll move my weight so you can see. Starting from one side, going inside the gap here on the spine, other side, and connecting everything. Flipping it over, making sure there's no waste paper again. And I'm going to fold this inside and fold this inside. If you want, you can trim paper here and peel it off before it dries. Let's do the other side. It's more important if you're doing it with a strip of thick paper. This is 90-gram paper, but you could do it thicker. And this actually looks like a nice intended design. You can also print on it, by the way, before gluing it, and then you have a title for your book. Another mistake that happens a lot is while sewing, you need to pull the thread towards the direction of sewing and parallel to the spine. But sometimes you do something like this and you make a tear inside the signature. So instead of cutting the thread, taking everything off, fixing the signature and then doing it again, what you can do is back up with the needle and the thread. And what I usually do, because I do restoration, is I take a piece of paper that is the same color as the paper I'm working on, and then I'm taking some paste, pasting the piece of paper, lifting it, and then attaching. Always use paste and not PVA, okay? We want it reversible. This is very important. But a nice hack I found is you can take rolling paper, don't start smoking, okay? But you can take rolling paper and it has a bit of adhesive on the edge. So I'm going to cut this side with the adhesive. You just need a small amount. Let's do 2 sides, 1 and 2. And now I'm going to put some water on it or just lick it, open the signature and connect the paper on the inside. Now you can nearly see the fix, and you can do the same thing on the outside. Put it on one side, work with the bone folder, and then fold it to the other side. Of course, this is white paper, and white paper, usually if I need to give it a little bit of color, you can do it inside tea or coffee without sugar. And then after this is dry, you can go back inside the same hole and continuing the sewing. Let's say I had a knot or a problem or something and I needed to cut the thread. First of all, if you're making an exposed spine, make the knot inside. If you are going for something that is concealed in the spine, then make the knot on the outside. Now, what I'm going to do is take a piece of thread and make a simple knot, an overhand knot. Then insert inside the old thread, lock it, and slide it towards where you want it to be. Now, this is the old thread. I'm going over the new thread and inside and pulling. And these are 2 knots that are opposing one another. And then when you pull, they can never get loose. This is called a fisherman's knot. And I like it because you can manage and locate it exactly where you want it to be. Then you cut it and keep on sewing. I would love to hear about your mistakes and how you fix them. So write me in the comments. Don't be shy. We all made mistakes. Also consider subscribing if you're interested in things related to bookbinding, to box making and much more. And I'll see you in my next video.